How did a fun bet turn into a billion-dollar brand? This is the incredible story of René Lacoste, a man who started wearing a crocodile logo as a joke and ended up creating the iconic Lacoste brand. But don't be fooled, it wasn't an easy ride. His journey from tennis courts to the top of the fashion world was packed with surprises, challenges, and relentless hard work. René Lacoste was born on July 2nd, 1904, in the beautiful city of Paris, France. His father, Jean-Jules Lacoste, was a champion rower, and his mother, Jeanne-Marie, came from a close-knit family in Monet. Together, they shaped René's early life in Courbevoie, where he spent most of his childhood. At first, René didn't care about tennis. He was an academic genius, and it seemed like he was destined for a stable career in engineering or business. But here's the thing, life had other plans for him. Or should we say, his story was missing its turning point. And then, it happened. The turning point. René was just 15 years old, tagging along with his father on a trip to England. While there, he saw a tennis match, and something sparked inside him. It was electric. He was hooked. That match changed everything. When René told his father he wanted to pursue tennis seriously, Jean-Jules wasn't exactly thrilled. He had high hopes of seeing his son attend a top engineering school. Tennis, that didn't fit the plan. But instead of saying no, Jean-Jules made a bold deal with René. Prove yourself in tennis within 5 years. If you can become a world champion, you can have your dream. It was a high-stakes challenge, but René was ready to take it on, and that is where this legendary journey truly began. Now René had one goal: prove himself to his father. At just 15 years old, he threw himself into tennis with an unmatched passion and laser-sharp focus. His life was no longer about school or distractions. It was all about the court. Day in, day out, René trained like his life depended on it, pushing his body and mind further than he ever thought possible. And guess what? It started to pay off. By 1922, just 3 years after committing to tennis, René earned a coveted spot at the Wimbledon Championships. It was a huge moment for the young player, but life had one more lesson to teach him. Not every story starts with a win. René faced Pat O'Hara Wood in the first round and lost. The defeat stung, but instead of breaking him, it did the opposite. It lit a fire. René was more determined than ever. Failure wasn't the end for him. It was just the beginning of something epic. By 1923, René was back at Wimbledon, and this time, he made it all the way to the 4th round. He faced Cecil Campbell, and although he lost again, his performance sent a clear message. René Lacoste had potential, and lots of it. That same year, another big milestone. René was chosen to join the French Davis Cup team, alongside Jean Borotra, Jacques Brugnon, and Henri Cochet. René became part of what would soon be a legendary group, the Four Musketeers. Together, they began their journey to dominate the tennis world for years to come. Then came 1924, a breakthrough year. René reached his first Wimbledon final. It was a massive achievement, and the crowd was buzzing. But fate had one more challenge for him. His opponent was none other than Jean Borotra, his teammate and one of the best players of the time. Despite fighting hard, René lost the final. But here's the thing about René. Defeat only fueled him. Instead of backing down, he doubled his efforts, training harder than ever. He refused to let anything or anyone stand in his way. René wasn't chasing just a trophy, he was chasing greatness. 1925, the breakthrough year. In 1925, René Lacoste had his breakthrough moment. At the French Championships, he found himself face-to-face with Jean Borotra once again in the final. But this time, it was different. René stepped onto the court with determination burning in his eyes, and he dominated, winning in straight sets. This wasn't just a victory, it was René's first Grand Slam title, a testament to all the years of blood, sweat, and tears. But René wasn't done yet. That same year, he took his winning streak to Wimbledon, where he again defeated Borotra in the final. 2 major titles in 1 year. For the first time, René felt the sweet reward of not only his hard work, but also his father's respect and approval, the setback that fueled his fire. But as they say, the higher you rise, the harder you fall. In 1926, René faced a painful setback. He lost his French championship title to Henri Cochet. It was a tough blow, but René wasn't the type to let failure define him. Instead of wallowing, he made a bold decision. He skipped Wimbledon that year to focus on his training. He knew that if he wanted to stay on top, he had to keep evolving his game. And then came 1926, the year that changed everything. René made an unforgettable comeback by winning the US National Championships, defeating Borotra once again in a gripping final. This victory was more than just a win. It was historic. René became the first foreign player to win the US title twice, cementing his place among the tennis greats. But the moment that defined René's legacy, that came during the World Group Final, where he faced off against Bill Tilden, the legendary tennis icon known for his unbeatable streaks. The tennis world had one question: can René pull off the impossible? As the match began, Tilden looked unstoppable. The crowd was ready for another Tilden triumph, but René had other plans. With the grit and determination of a true champion, René fought back, and against all odds, he defeated Tilden in a match that left the world in shock. This single victory didn't just stun the crowd, it earned René the nickname that would follow him forever: the Crocodile. American journalists were blown away by René's relentless style and his ability to never give up, comparing him to a crocodile stalking its prey. Even though the French team lost the overall final, René's victory over Tilden made him a star. Back in France, the Crocodile became more than just a nickname, it became his identity, and René loved it. So how did the Crocodile evolve into a worldwide brand? It all began with a simple BET. After winning the Davis Cup, René's team captain made him a promise. If they won, René would receive a crocodile skin suitcase. Of course, René accepted, and when they won, the captain delivered. But the real magic happened when designer Robert George embroidered a crocodile logo onto René's blazer. When René wore it during his next match, it wasn't just about style, it was about pride, determination, and winning. Fans loved it, and so did René. That tiny crocodile, stitched over his heart, became a symbol of everything he stood for on and off the court. By 1933, René took it a step further. He wasn't just thinking about fashion, he wanted function. Traditional tennis outfits were stiff, hot, and downright impractical. Long-sleeved button-up shirts didn't allow for the flexibility players needed. René decided to change that. 1933, the birth of La Société Chemise Lacoste. In 1933, René Lacoste took his biggest swing off the tennis court. He partnered with André Gillier, the owner of France's largest knitwear company, to create something revolutionary: La Société Chemise Lacoste. Their mission? To design tennis attire that combined style and comfort, a concept that was unheard of at the time. And their groundbreaking creation? The now iconic short-sleeve polo shirt made from petit piqué, a lightweight, breathable fabric designed to offer freedom of movement. This wasn't just tennis gear, it was a game changer. Players finally had clothing that moved with them, not against them. Breaking into the US market, the polo shirt became an instant hit in the tennis world. But René faced a huge challenge. He couldn't secure the rights to sell under the Lacoste name in the United States. For years, this limited the brand's global reach. But by the late 1950s, everything changed. Lacoste teamed up with Izod, launching the brand in the US and introducing the Crocodile shirt to an entirely new audience. By the 1970s, Lacoste wasn't just a brand, it was a cultural icon. It became a must-have in preppy youth culture, symbolizing sophistication, success, and a relaxed yet elegant lifestyle. rising competition and enduring success. As Lacoste reached peak popularity in the 1970s, competitors started circling. One of the most notable challengers was La Tigre, an American brand that tried to compete by choosing a different animal logo. But let's be real, no tiger could take down the crocodile. Despite their efforts, Lacoste's massive popularity remained unmatched. Other American brands began producing similar polo styles, but instead of weakening Lacoste, it only made the brand more desirable. The crocodile logo stood for something bigger: quality, prestige, and endurance. Why the crocodile? But what made the crocodile so important to René? To him, it represented toughness, tenacity, and never giving up. These were the same qualities that defined him as an athlete. The crocodile was more than a logo, it was a legacy. Even after retiring from tennis in 1932, René's hunger for innovation never faded. In the 1960s, he designed a steel tennis racket that was a game changer on the court. It became a favorite among top players, including Jimmy Connors, proving that René wasn't just a champion, he was a visionary. The Lacoste empire under Bernard. In 1963, René's son, Bernard Lacoste, took over the reins of the family business. With Bernard's sharp business acumen, Lacoste expanded into new product lines, including footwear and accessories. Under his leadership, the brand went global, reaching markets René could only have dreamed of. What made Bernard's leadership special? He respected the brand's roots while adapting to the changing fashion landscape. He ensured that the core values René built, style, functionality, and quality, remained intact. How Lacoste became a global name. In 1993, Lacoste made a bold move by ending its partnership with Izod, regaining exclusive US rights to distribute shirts under its own prestigious brand. A few years earlier, in 1990, the company resolved a long-standing brand identity battle with a Chinese company called Crocodile, reclaiming its unique identity. These pivotal moments marked a turning point for the brand's future. Afterward, Bernard Lacoste recognized the need for fresh leadership to drive the company forward. But as much as René Lacoste's legacy lived on, his passing at the age of 92 brought an end to an era. The loss was profound, yet the company knew it had to press on to honor his vision. In 2000, a game-changing decision was made. Christophe Lemaire was brought on as the new creative director. His influence shifted Lacoste from being just a sportswear label to a luxury fashion brand that everyone couldn't stop talking about. By 2005, health reasons led Bernard Lacoste to step down, passing the torch to his younger brother Michel. Under Michel's leadership, Lacoste continued to evolve, expanding into new markets and diversifying its product range to include footwear, fragrances, and even watches. But it was Bernard's vision that had laid the foundation for the brand's global thrive. In 2012, a monumental moment came when Lacoste was acquired by Maus Frères SA, a Swiss company. This acquisition brought newfound strength, enabling the company to take full control of its image. They pulled back licensing deals, ensuring products remained consistent and embodied the brand's premium quality. Lacoste didn't stop there. The brand embraced modern trends like sustainability and digital innovation, winning over a new generation of customers. By introducing eco-friendly materials and launching campaigns that showcased their commitment to the environment, Lacoste proved it was a brand that cared with iconic collaborations, from designers like Jean-Paul Goude to streetwear brands like Supreme. Lacoste stayed relevant in an ever-changing world of fashion. Today, Lacoste isn't just a brand. It's a symbol of quality, style, and resilience. The unmistakable crocodile logo, still going strong, stands as a testament to René Lacoste's vision. proving that innovation and authenticity never go out of style.